All right, today we're diving into something pretty wild. We're going to decode an ancient spiritual text, the Sutra of Golden Light. But here's the twist. We're not going to treat it like some old myth. No, we're looking at it as a technical manual, a blueprint for reality itself. So, yeah, let's get into it.
So, I want you to start with this question because it really frames everything we're about to talk about. What if this ancient text isn't just a bunch of stories? What if it's actually a detailed blueprint for, well, a kind of universal operating system? A system that's designed to do nothing less than upgrade reality itself. Pretty bold idea, right?
So, our whole approach here is to analyze the sutra not as mythology, but as a design document. And the system it's describing? We're calling it a distributed awakening system. Now, just think of it like a decentralized network, like the internet or a blockchain. But instead of processing data or money, this network processes human intention and consciousness itself.
Okay, so how does a system like this actually work? Well, the text lays out this really fascinating 5-layer protocol. It's basically a step-by-step process that shows how one single, powerful idea can scale all the way up to rewrite the very fabric of the universe. Let's break it down.
What's so cool about this is how it maps a really spiritual concept onto a modern network model. Okay, so step one, the vow. This isn't just, making a wish. It's like writing the first line of code for a new program, and it has to be for the collective good. Then step two is propagation. That vow, that piece of code starts spreading. It's like a data packet going from one person, one node, across the entire network. Next up, step three, resonance. This is the system's consensus mechanism. When people rejoice in others' successes instead of getting jealous, it synchronizes the whole network around that initial vow. And this is where it gets absolutely wild. Step four, system response. Once enough of the network is in sync, when that intention hits a critical mass, the universe itself steps in. It actively starts helping to make it happen. And finally, step five is prophecy. The new future is confirmed, the code is compiled, and the new version of reality is locked in. Now, if this is an operating system, it has to have a core development team, right? The people who built it. Well, the sutra introduces these key figures. But here's the thing. They aren't just gods to be worshipped. They are presented as entities with very specific, functional roles in the system. So let's meet the universe's system architects. Okay, so let's look at their job descriptions. First, you have the wheel-turning Saint King, who later becomes Amitabha Buddha. You can think of him as the original designer of the Ideal World OS. He wrote the blueprint for a perfect reality. Then there's the Crown Prince, who becomes Guanyin. This is amazing. Their role is basically the universe's real-time rescue API, constantly listening for distress calls from anywhere in the network and responding instantly. The second prince, Mahastampra, is the system's power supply, the energy engine that keeps the whole thing running and gives it a boost when needed. And last but not least, the third prince, Manjushri. He's the chief system architect, the master strategist who uses wisdom to design these huge, all-encompassing cosmic structures. Okay, so we've got the protocol and we've met the core team, but to really get how this whole thing works, you have to understand the fundamental commands, the code that actually runs the system. And these aren't just abstract ideas, they are active, executable instructions. And this is maybe the most important idea of all. A vow is not a passive thought. It's not just a wish you make. In this system's logic, a vow is an execution command. You're not just hoping for something to happen, you are literally running a program in the universe's operating system.
And if vows are commands, think about what that means. It means the world isn't something that's just created and then happens to us. No, the world is selected. It's rendered based on the most powerful vows, the most powerful programs running on the network at any given time. You run a different program, you select a different world. It's that direct.
This completely reframes the end goal, right? A Buddha isn't some far-off god. Within this framework, a Buddha is just a person, a user who has successfully completed their project. They've taken their great vow, their execution command, and they've seen it through all the way to completion. They ran the program perfectly. Okay, look, this is all fascinating as a big cosmic blueprint, but the big question is, what does it mean for you and me, right now? Well, this is where it gets really practical, because the sutra doesn't just describe the system, it gives you the user manual. It tells you exactly how to plug in. And that's the absolute key here. This isn't just theory or ancient philosophy. The text is laying out a clear set of instructions for how any single person, any individual node, and yeah, that means you, can connect to this distributed network and actually take part in this universal upgrade. So here it is, your 4-step protocol for getting network access. First, learn to rejoice. This is huge. Instead of feeling jealous when you see someone else succeed, you celebrate it. The system sees this as the simplest, most low-cost way to connect and sync up with the positive flow of the network. Second, learn to dedicate. This means you bind every action you take, big or small, from doing the dishes to your life's work, to the bigger goal of universal awakening. It aligns all your personal energy with the system's main purpose. Third, learn to vow. And this means defining your life's purpose as a system you're actively building, not just a wish you're passively making. And finally, number 4, become a node. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Start creating something, sharing something, contributing to the network in your own unique way. That's how you become a real part of it.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, the protocol, the team, the user manual, a really profound picture starts to emerge. This isn't about one person's lonely spiritual journey. It's about a massive, collaborative, open-source project to literally rewrite the universe.
And that brings us right back to our core concept, the distributed awakening system. So what is it? It's an open-source network where our individual intentions, once they're aligned with others, can resonate, they can scale up, and they can collectively reshape reality. It's a completely bottom-up approach to changing the cosmos.
And here's the ultimate summary of just how powerful this system can be. It works on 3 different scales. One person's vow, that can change them. A group's shared resonance, a bunch of people in sync, that can change the world. But a great vow, a truly massive, selfless vow that spreads across the entire network, that has the power to rewrite the universe itself. And that brings everything right back, from the cosmic scale down to the very personal. If this ancient text really is a user manual for an open-source reality project, and if a single great vow is the execution command that can change everything, well, that leaves us all with one final, and maybe the most important question. What will your vow be?